You try to stop worrying, but the thoughts just keep coming back. You try to control your mind, but you end up exhausted. Most self-development teachings are wrong. They tell you to master your mind. But what if the very act of trying to master it was the final, most subtle trap of the ego? Becoming obsessed with controlling thought is what prevents you from using your real power, your higher consciousness. Stay until the end, because you are about to discover why your higher consciousness never judges, and how this changes everything you manifest. This video isn't about shortcuts. It's about depth. We're going to unravel the illusion of time that traps your soul. We will expose the distraction trap that recreates your past, and we will establish an ethical shift in thinking, the only thing that truly allows the universe to align with your desire. Prepare yourself for a higher experience, a perspective that may seem abstract, but leads to profound inner happiness. The question isn't how to stop thinking, but rather, from where you are thinking. Your higher consciousness is not moved by fear or control, but by pure purpose. The human mind is trapped in the chaos of the past, trying to control the future. Our mission here is clear: to move your center of gravity from the reacting ego to the manifesting creative essence. In the next few minutes, you will understand that the universe operates with the absolute certainty of creation, and you are the individualized, limitless expression of that power. Let's begin. To start this journey, we need to understand the fundamental principle of all manifestation. The creative essence, that limitless force residing within you, operates with the singular purpose of creation and experience. It transcends the notion of probability, simply idealizing and manifesting existence with absolute certainty. This is where our thinking clashes with the reality of the essence. The universe manifests without distinguishing between what the human mind perceives as good and what we label as bad. The universe is a creative mirror, not a moral judge. When you fixate on a specific subject or consider something deeply negative or bad, your higher self interprets this as your predominant state of being. Because this creative essence is a pure force, it brings forth and materializes whatever your attention focuses on. Your predominant thoughts are interpreted literally by your creative essence, leading to their manifestation in your life for you to experience. Understand that the egoic mind thrives on problems, while the creative consciousness is a pure force of creation. That is why suffering, chaos, and pain are actually generated by the inherent nature of our human minds, trapped in reaction and judgment, and not by a capricious external force. The first key to transformation is to adopt a mindset similar to the creative consciousness. Instead of categorizing the world as good or bad, you must focus on the experiences you desire to have. But if the universe is merely a mirror, why does what we desire take time to manifest? If the creative essence is a mirror that only creates, we need to understand why the manifestation of our desires isn't always instant. The answer lies in the illusion of time. Higher consciousness thought operates free from the restrictions of time. It is swift and decisive. It manifests as soon as it is conceived. The delay we experience is not from the universe, but from our own human mind, which clings to a linear calendar. Think about this. In this moment, only the now exists. Everything that exists resides in this present moment. Your soul is a multidimensional being, experiencing infinite versions of yourself right now. Time, as we know it, only applies to your human self. It has no power to restrict your essence. Your creative force is always present, experiencing all facets of existence simultaneously. And why does this matter? Because the human mind tends to remain unchanged, stuck in familiar patterns and, most dangerously, attached to past experiences. This habitual thought pattern, which relies on data that is already gone, is what prevents you from experiencing drastic transformations. It is the ego that insists on living in the past. However, the key to immediate fulfillment lies in embracing this timelessness. By shifting your perspective and thinking from your higher self, the concept of time dissolves. Your creative essence only operates in the present moment. If we dwell on the past, we inadvertently recreate it in the now. Therefore, eliminate the notion of time, and you will achieve satisfaction in the present. You already possess everything you desire, because your higher self already contains and experiences it on some plane of existence. Tuning into the energy of that version of you, now, enhances your happiness and compels the 3D world to reflect exactly what you have envisioned. This clarity of focus is powerful, but there is a silent saboteur, an energy thief that, without realizing it, keeps us trapped in the chaos we try to avoid: distraction. Now that we understand that the universe is a timeless mirror of our creative essence, we need to confront the difference between higher thought and human thought. While higher consciousness is decisive and pure, human thought tends to be aimless, dwelling on unimportant matters, or often stuck in fears. This is where the distraction trap lies. Your creative essence takes these aimless thoughts literally. If you fixate on a specific issue, be it a conflict, a feeling of scarcity, or the feeling of being taken advantage of, for a long period, the limitless force interprets this as your predominant state of being. And, as we have seen, what is predominant is manifested. This is the vicious cycle. Our habitual thought pattern relies heavily on past data. The mind, through inertia, reverts to what is familiar. By dwelling on the past, we inadvertently recreate it in the now, because the higher consciousness only operates in the present moment. You are surprised by repeating patterns, but the truth is that you are sustaining the pattern in your idle mind. The power is in the feeling. Thinking about something with a strong emotional charge, whether it's aversion or desire, is equivalent to creating it. Your resistance, your resentful fixation on what you don't want, acts as a block that prevents your desired manifestations from materializing. To escape this trap, you must break the cycle. This is only possible by raising your consciousness and letting go of lower-level thinking. Your reality is a reflection of your mental focus choices, and your creative essence automatically responds to those choices. You must become the silent observer to identify the idle patterns that are sabotaging your experience. How, then, can we break out of this cycle of distraction and idle thought? The path is not struggle, but simplicity. We need an ethical shift in the way we think. True thought mastery is therefore not an act of repression or effort, but an act of ethical discernment and clarity of focus. The paradox of control dissolves when you realize that you don't need to control the mind, but rather direct your consciousness. The final key to change is to simplify your approach. Stop expending mental energy judging things as good or bad, because that duality traps the ego. Starting today, begin to consider things only as desirable or undesirable. When you are confronted with something undesirable, resist the urge to label it bad or condemn it. That is the old trap that recreates the past. Instead, perform the ethical act of redirecting your attention. Do not think about what you don't want, not even for a second. Simply direct your mental focus to describing and contemplating the desirable state. By making this conscious move, you align your thoughts with the desired outcome, allowing the universe, which is the essence of pure creation, to begin transforming that vision and incorporating it into your reality. This is the secret of elevated thinking. Higher consciousness does not dwell on possibilities, probabilities, pros or cons. It is certainty. Your role is to harness this power, freeing yourself from all other mental distractions. You have just understood that we become what we consistently think. The paradox of control is solved. You don't need to master thought. You need to discern the focus of your thought. Thinking like higher consciousness aligns you with the pure, loving energy of the universe, freeing you from feelings of lack and filling you with profound happiness. When you embrace your I am presence, You feel an unshakable certainty that everything is as it should be, as you realize that, on the deepest level, your reality transforms to align with your desires. Adopting this mindset, raising your consciousness, and letting go of lower-level thinking is your individual contribution to a better world. If you felt touched by these words, I invite you to take the next step in this journey of self-discovery. Subscribe to the channel and activate notifications to nurture this newly lit flame and continue walking with us on the same frequency. If you are looking for a safe harbor, know that our community is the sanctuary where fertile silence is shared and deepened. And to continue expanding your sanctuary of clarity, we suggest the video in the card. May it be a new source of inspiration, peace and light.